After my first indoor track race of my senior year of high school, I was out running with a buddy. We had just come off PRs for the day in the 2 mile. We were dreaming big. We were talking about goals for the upcoming year and for our running career. And as we were doing that, I had something deep down in me say, with all seriousness, I said, with everything in front of me, the biggest goal that I have for my running career is making it to the Olympic trials in the marathon. That's it. I don't care about anything else. That's the ultimate goal for me. And I went on to run Division I for a year, but I ultimately quit the sport for over 5 years due to an eating disorder that I battled every single day for 3 years of my life. It was, without a doubt, some of the hardest years that I've ever had to face. But it made me a stronger person. Instead of running, I pursued bodybuilding and powerlifting during that time, and ultimately became an elite level powerlifter. I deadlifted 3 times my body weight. I deadlifted 450 at 148 pounds, and I squatted 2.5 times my body weight. Squatted 385 at 153 pounds. What ultimately got me back on track with running, and I'm grateful. It was a hard time again. I herniated a disc in my low back, and it took me a year to rehab, and it was excruciating. I couldn't even put my shoes on. I had to have people help me put my socks on, get in and out of cars. It was excruciating, physically the most incapable time of my life, but it's what ultimately led me back to running, and so I'm thankful for it. So after 5 years off from the sport, I started to fall in love with running again. And I did it in a more healthy way. And I had a healthy relationship with food. And as I was beginning to run, I wanted to lay this big aerobic foundation. So I dove headfirst into trails and ultras with the hopes that as I trained for that would lay this huge aerobic foundation for me for the Olympic marathon trials. But as I was competing in ultra trail races, I got distracted from the goal that I had set originally as I started running again. I got distracted and never ran a marathon with full intention. I ran one marathon that I hopped in last second, but never did I commit to that goal. And I think part of that was because I was scared to fail. 2020 came on me very quickly, and I hadn't run a time qualifier, and so I saw that chance go out the window. And so when that happened, I committed. I said, 4 years, Michael, get this done. I started to commit to training again with the hopes of running at the 2024 Olympic marathon trials. And I came back at the end of 2021 and ran a huge over 3-minute half marathon PR. And I was like, all right, here I go. I'm well on my way. That time indicates that I'm capable. Over the next 2 years, I had a ton of change in my life again. And I ended up moving 6 times over the next 2 years, 4 of those times across the country. From East Coast to West Coast, West Coast to East Coast, completely across the country. I changed jobs 4 times. I started a business with my wife. My wife had our second child, my daughter. And with all these changes in my life, every time I seemed to get the ball rolling with running, this major change in my life would occur, and I would crawl back to lifting because it was easier to commit to. But that meant that my opportunity at 2024 trials were slipping away again. And over the course of those 2 years, that's exactly what happened. The purpose of this series is going to be to develop a community that's committed to something. Let's commit to a goal together. I've set my goal, the 2028 Olympic trials. Yours doesn't have to be health or fitness or sport related. It could be anything. It could be a long-term career goal. It could be a relationship goal. It could be anything. But what's your goal that you're tired of seeing slip through the cracks, that you're tired of seeing time just passing by and this goal or this thing that you want to see happen in your life not happen. I'm ready to commit, and I want a community of people that are with me, that a community of people that are ready to commit. We're gonna do it together. Let's keep each other accountable. Let's keep each other committed. Let's do this together.